Welcome to the Great Lakes Smoke Podcast Show. What we talk about basically is the love and the passion of cigars, pipe smoking, tobacco, alcohol, brothers chilling out and having a good time, laughter.
Well, how else are you gonna, enjoy a nice bourbon?
And you kind of went animalistic on tobacco buying, haven't you?
And the Rocky Patel Pure and Simple. I don't know, that thing just tastes so good.
Let me move Bob closer. Here you go. Bob wants to be close. Anyway, folks,
what's going on?
How's everybody doing? Hope you're all doing well. We have an exciting guest that we didn't announce today, but
Tim is here.
Well,
That's exciting.
We do have
That's
two
exciting.
special guests tonight. Absolutely. So we want to welcome all of you again to another episode. It was kind of a fast week, man. I mean, it's
Actually,
like
I feel like we
already.
did the show yesterday, and here we are again.
Time is going too fast.
Too fast, man.
Absolutely.
Too fast. It really is.
And it's scary. It really is. Not fun at all. But it is what it is, and we're doing what we can, and we're going to bring you another show. We're going to bring you some information, hopefully, on the FDA, what's going on out there, a few things that cigar owners who own their own company are going to have to do. And Premier Cigars are rearing up for a lawsuit, and there's a lot going on with Washington, even with the COVID going. There are a lot of people behind the scenes trying to save our passion for all of us. And we're going to do what we can on our end to have our voices heard. We need to get hold of our aldermen, our congressmen, our senators. We have to be louder, folks. We can't just let the few.
We got to be as loud
it.
as the other side, which are so loud that they have gotten everything they want. And we got to take back what we want.
That's true. And we really, really have to do that.
Smoke Lives Matter.
Say what?
Smoke Lives Matter.
Smoke Lives Matter. There you go. We're going to start a new one on here. I like that. Smoke Lives Matter. And there's nothing wrong with that because everybody of all nationalities and religions smoke. So Smoke Lives Matter. You're right, Kyle.
Yeah.
We're going to
tweet that out.
On a banner maybe floating around either on the bottom or something.
Tweet that out. Hashtag Smoke Lives Matter.
There you go.
There you go. Grab it. Do we have to...
Grab it now before that domain gets used.
We got a lot of people jumping on real fast over here. We got.
Well, I'm glad. We're already 2 minutes too late.
Okie Ozark Piper. He's a newcomer. How you doing, Okie?
Okay.
And we got Kevin Corbliss jumping on, and now we have a regular Mr. Simpson has been joining us for 3 straight weeks. He's
no relation to the cartoon, right?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
Good old Dan Clark. How you doing, Dan? Hopefully you're feeling better. So welcome aboard, people. Anyway, just tell a little bit about some newbies because I could see them all on there, just so you get used to the faces. My name is Ron Pecorini.
To our faces?
Well, maybe not yours, but you know.
Oh,
This is my brother Bob.
How you doing, folks?
And the magic curtain behind the man, the technology wizard of all wizards, Kyle Gesso.
Well, good evening, everyone.
Tobacco fields. Look at that.
Hanging
Kansas.
Kansas.
I thought
No,
North Carolina.
I'm hanging out in Esteli. That's Esteli right there.
There you go.
Nice.
Very good. Very good.
Very nice. Can you pick up some of those leaves so we can get a better look at them, or You just don't want to be bothered right now.
You know what? I am on such a high chair right now that if I move, I may fall off and not be able to get back on. So they're going to have to stay
right
down there.
That's because you're smoking some of the other leaf.
Hey, shh, we don't talk about that.
Don't tell nobody. You never know who's listening. He could be in Colorado for all we know.
Well, that's it.
Anyway, folks, a little later on, we're going to have the one of the owners of Ace Prime cigar line, Luciano, coming on, and he's very involved with the government, and maybe he might have heard some more interesting news. Again, with COVID, a lot of things in Washington shut down, so we'll see what knowledge he has and what he can bring to the table. Also sitting in the gallery over here behind,
Special guest.
Special guest, the new president of the Chicago Pipe Club himself, Mr. Tim Garrity. Well, we're not going to have the Chooch show, folks.
Chooch ain't here tonight.
The Chooch is not feeling
Chooched
well.
out.
And yes, and you know, it would be nice to have one of our other friends tonight, Mr. Kerr Viajente. Hello, Kerr. How are you,
Kerr,
buddy?
what's happening, man?
Stogie Road specialist, folks. If you get a chance, jump on board. Take a look at his Facebook. He's got a couple of cigars out there, and soon to be, hopefully November, something else might be happening.
Ooh.
So that's with Curvia Gente, it's Stogie Road. It does
Catch
a
your show.
beautiful show on
Very
Thursday nights.
informative about the whole boutique cigar industry.
Yeah, Thursdays and Friday nights.
Sitting with a lot
Yep.
of our friends too on that show.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. He's had on I think every single guest we've had on so far. So
Yeah, you know,
we're all one big happy family.
That's right.
That's
That's
it.
it, man. You know,
We share.
it's a big friendship.
Yes.
Salute.
Hello, Kerr. You got it, buddy. And actually, he was probably just on with the show ahead of us called The Ash Holes with Barry and Matt. And matter of fact, we're going to have a special guest next week on our show, Barry Bones Argento from The Ash Holes Show himself, along with a new cigar line that he is going to be sales repping. And we'll keep that surprise for you. You have to tune in and
It's
check
amazing
them out.
what a small world this is, you know?
Yeah.
Well, we all intertwine, you know. It's
and that's a
great
good thing.
and,
It's a good thing that everybody just becomes an instant friendship, you know, develops.
Well, we're just
Okay.
one big
All of
pot
it.
of stew, you know. We're all melding together and getting each other's flavors and coming up with something cool, you know, out of this thing.
Yeah,
It's a lot of fun. It's
It
a
is.
lot of fun.
it's a good thing. It's all good.
You open up avenues, you know, traveling wise, or if you move, or just picking up the phone and talking to people. Due to Kerr, we got hold of Dr. Gabby Caffey of Caffey 1901, which is a tremendous line. And forget about the line. We're talking about a tremendous individual, a Unitarian.
Just
a
a
fantastic,
wonderful, wonderful person.
Uh,
It's an honor to know him. It really is.
Yep. So we'll get, matter of fact, when this whole COVID comes out, we're trying to get Kerr and Dr. Gabby to come on up, and hopefully we can do some cigar events with our local.
Well, we've had
cigar
Kerr up
shop.
here before.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
Been about a year
Gabby
now.
We got to get up here. Yeah. Yep.
And we can do them both together.
Yeah.
Because they're mixed. They're together. You know.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
You know,
with that.
speaking of COVID, did you hear what happened with the mayor? What she has announced today?
Our mayor,
Yeah.
Chicago.
No, yeah,
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice. Four more states have been added to a quarantine list. So if you travel to, like, I think we're up to 22 states now. And when you get back, you have to self-impose a 14-day quarantine. And
And what
the
states are
the latest one was Wisconsin.
Get out of here. I
How
go to
could it be-
Wisconsin every day.
If you
How
if,
people work there? How are they going to do that, man?
if you spend more than 24 hours in Wisconsin, you have to self-quarantine yourself for 14 days.
I know where there's no border guards. I kind of wiggle through.
It is getting out of control.
Ridiculous,
Right.
man.
I'm sorry. That's for a whole nother show that we can come up with.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, folks, if you're interested in getting hold of us, you can always go on our PM page, Great Lakes Smoke Show, which most of you are watching right now. You can even you can go to our email address, greatlakesmokeshow@aol.com. Send us any information.
Oh.
Down,
ask
Bill.
us anything you like. If there's something you want us to talk about, we'd be more than glad to do so. So we're always looking forward for information. We're also looking for sponsors, folks. You know, it takes a little bit of dinero, a little bit of money to keep shows going.
A little bit more than just a little bit.
And again, you know, we really do this for fun. We do this for free on our own, no pay. Just a passion that we have, and we have a lot of passion indeed. But there's other behind the scenes expenses. So if you're looking to do a sponsorship, get hold of us. We like to talk to you. It's not much. Even if you want to get your name out there, we'll even introduce your name. Hey, Kyle Jesso, you know, whatever it is, we'll throw it out there. You know, maybe 5-6 times a day. I don't know. We'll check it all out.
Light it up on the marquee.
And
We'll figure it out.
don't worry, I've got the check in the mail for the $20 for my name grab there. So
there you go. There you go.
Wow.
Hey, see, it's not much, folks. It doesn't take much. But in the meantime, we do have some sponsors already for the show. And Kyle's going to throw it out there. And we have some good friends from New York City. And
Wait a minute, I thought he was pitching it.
well, Ronnie's going with it.
He's pitching.
He's pitching with it. I think we start off with the regular one. So he goes for it.
Ronnie already there. Our good friends from New York City, DAV, Val and Armin. These guys make a fine cigar. One heck of a leaf that they put out there for us all to enjoy. They're up to, I think, was it 10 or 11 different SKUs now? Different
Something
cigars.
like that, yeah.
Some are out there. They're up there with those. So find those at your local brick and mortar. Or there was, what was the website? There was a website that they were promoting too. My mind's blanking on me.
You can reach them at their email address if you wanted to. It's davcigars@gmail.com. Again, that's davcigars@gmail.com. And if you have a phone, if you have a pen and paper, which we always like to ask you, get a pen and paper. There's plenty of information that we'll pass on. Their phone numbers are 347-366-0096. So give them a call. DAV Cigar Line, Dominican Smokes. Good stuff, folks. Good stuff.
347?
347 area code. There's also a 917-767-8545. We've been out of New York a long time.
Yeah,
man.
973 or 212 are the area codes.
718
And for
79,
and 516 out in Long Island.
And for
514
DAV cigars,
state.
make sure you drop the name Great Lakes Smoke Show so they can charge you double.
Absolutely.
And if they do, you let us know. We'll smack them inside their heads. I'm sorry, we weren't supposed to go there.
And our
Anyway,
next,
DAV cigars.
our
Actually,
next,
that was the kickback.
the next sponsor that we have is our boys out of Tampa, RNA Treasures. Got warehouses full of pipes, and if you're keeping a watch on their Instagram, they normally on Tuesdays have a $3 pipe of the day that they are usually promoting that you can pick up a bunch.
And Facebook. They're on Facebook too with the same
too.
promotion.
Yep.
Unbelievable pipes. I mean, you can't even approach buying a pipe of their caliber for the money that they're selling.
No.
$2-3 sales. I mean, these are phenomenal briar pipes. These aren't cheap corn cobs or anything.
These are cheaper than corn cobs in the price book, but are going to smoke way better.
No, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with a corn cob. I'm saying they are quality, but they're not like a corn cob. This is a briar pipe. I mean, you're going up another notch here, and for the money, you can't buy it anywhere.
And if you're handy or artistic in any way, they have pipes unfinished.
You can finish them yourself.
You can finish yourself.
I got about 20, 25 of their pipes. I'm telling you, they're wonderful pipes. They really are.
And Bob likes to put his own.
And then since we have a special guest in the audience over there, or maybe he should promote the next sponsorship that we have here. I mean, since he is the president of the Chicagoland Pipe Collectors Club, we should hear from our president.
Here he is going to come on board
Da,
here.
da, da, da,
Sit him over here
da.
next to
Here he is. Here he
It's a
comes.
little tight here. There
As
we
soon as
go.
the Secret
Bum,
Service
bum,
gets
ba,
out of
da,
his way, he
da,
can
da,
sit
da,
down.
da, da, da.
Back a little bit, and here he is, the one and only president of the Chicago Pipe Club, Mr. Tim Garrity. How are you,
How
Tim?
you doing, audience? So, at the Great Lakes Smoke Show, we like to give away pipes, courtesy of the Chicago Pipe Collectors Club. You never know what you're going to get. Always quality briars coming usually from R&A Treasures, which are
Yeah.
great pipes. The whole goal here, folks, if you have a friend who's, they're kind of interested, have them tune into the show. Get a chance of getting a free pipe. How could you go wrong?
You can go wrong. I wish I had that opportunity when I was just starting or thinking about it. You know, I had to spend all of, I think, $2.50 back in 1966 when I bought my first pipe.
What was
My
it?
first pint was
It
a
was
corn
a
cob.
Grabo, of course.
Stop.
I bought it at Tiamo,
Okay, let's do
Tiamo
this together now.
cigar store.
Let's say this together. Grabo.
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 Bravo.
You gotta have that
Grabo.
French
All right.
rolled
It's
and
not
R.
Grabo. It's not Grabo. It's
Grabo.
Grabo.
okay. By the way, we're going to be reaching out to those people. We need to have them on the show.
Yeah, we do. They've
They've
been
been
around
finished
for a long time.
since the
They're an
1940s.
institution in this country. They truly are.
And hey, you're hard up for a pipe. You go to Walgreens and they still got them there. For $25.
Yeah.
It's a Grabo.
Well, you can make them out of
Absolutely.
aluminum foil. Remember that?
Yeah, and or sockets.
Well, but anyway, yeah.
That was a different kind of pipe for different use.
Or an apple.
You don't want to use that stuff in a pipe, folks. You never get rid of it.
No,
That's it.
you'll
You
ghost
ruined
your
it.
pipe. You'll kill your
But
pipe.
the Chicago Pipe Collectors Club, we're all about growing this pastime, this
Yes, we
pursuit.
are.
For some of us, it's more than a pursuit. For others, it's hours of good enjoyment. Simple pipe is a friend for life.
Yeah, that's a fact. Do you still have your first pipe?
I have one of. The first ones were probably meerschaum, Missouri meerschaums. You just
Those.
you know, but I have my first pipe that I bought specifically for this. It's a Peterson Irish pipe.
Ah,
Mm.
And
I still have my very first pipe, the one I just talked about.
really.
I still have it. Oh yeah, yeah.
Still smoke it.
I haven't smoked it in a couple of years, but it was a good smoke. I'll tell you the truth.
Take it out for a test drive.
I will.
I don't have my
Okay.
first pipe, but I do have my second pipe still.
The hash pipe. I know you took it out last week.
Yeah, the first pipe
Which
was
one
the
do you have?
corn cob, and that one met an untimely demise, as it was my first one. So, but the second one I still have in my collection.
I got all my pipes. That's one thing except for one. I think I broke one pipe, a briar. But you know which pipes I never had success with? Always broke them. Clay pipes.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
always break a clay pipe. I mean, they
Yeah.
are the most delicate things. Great if you want to just sample a tobacco and get the true taste of that tobacco. But for me, it's a one smoker, and I bust it right after that.
Well,
I
you
like
just
it.
gotta do the scene like Ghost again and just reform it and bring it back to life. And
Clay.
yeah,
One of the interesting things about clay pipes is they're instrumental. They're the first real pipes.
Oh yeah.
And the pipes made from other woods. But archaeologists can always tell when someone was alive in this country because tobacco smoking was so prevalent that the front teeth would rot out
Hmm.
from the guys smoking their pipes, and you get the tar buildup.
Hmm.
I mean, they, dentistry back then was.
There was
you
none.
know,
Look away, Jerry. I'm
Yeah.
hideous.
So
It's like a catcher's mitt.
That was on last night. Pipe night.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
It's like a catcher's
Maybe
mitt.
school's got
Look
a
at
pipe.
you. You look like an old catcher's mitt.
But yeah, I think not here, but stacked somewhere in my storage bins. I have my first corn cob. Haven't pulled it out. Don't know where. There's a lot of boxes, but I've got it somewhere.
My first corn cob I actually burnt out.
Yeah,
Smoked so much it burnt out. But
most people do.
yeah.
well, there's a large group of individuals out there who are corn cob enthusiasts.
Oh yeah.
You
Yeah.
know everything about them, and you know what? They maintain their corn cob pipes just as everybody would a briar.
Well,
And in the club, I'm always telling people, always, if possible, have a corn cob on hand.
Mhm.
Because you come across a new tobacco,
mhm.
you're not sure about it, like you were just saying with the clay pipes.
Yeah.
You put it in a Missouri Meerschaum pipe, good to go.
Absolutely. And think of the history. I mean, what have they been around in this country? About 150 years or more?
Probably since the 1820s.
1845.
An incredible
Right.
history,
I think it's
and they
1845.
still
Missouri
are
Meerschaum.
Yeah.
large sellers. They're hey, I mean, everybody has to have at least one or two. I know I got
And
3 or 4 just sitting on my
Talking
rack.
about that, we definitely want to maybe get what's the guy's name from Missouri? Phil, was it?
Bill.
We'll
Yeah,
get
I
Phil.
like to get him
We'll
on.
try
I
to
want to
get
hear
him
the
on.
whole his personal take on the history and of course today. What
Missouri-
they're doing today.
Missouri Meerschaum has been around since 1869.
69 after those 45. Okay.
1869.
One of the interesting things, that I was talking to Phil about, and hopefully when we get him on the show, we can expand on this. Don't take it for granted that your corncob pipe is an American pipe.
What?
The Chinese have been releasing corncob pipes in the United States market.
Wow.
I did not
And-
know
and-
that.
Hopefully Phil will kind of point this out to you.
With the
there's a
Missouri
whole-
Meerschaum sticker?
No.
Well, that's what you got to look for.
Well, it is
That's
because
American made.
Missouri Meerschaum has high standards for. They're not just maybe in our minds we're thinking they're just cutting down corn.
No.
No, they have a select grain that they grow. It's on their farm, and they know exactly what they're looking for. Thickness. There's a lot of stuff going into it. Than
Sure.
just cutting down corn and drilling it out. So we'll get some of that information from them.
Yeah, I think that's pretty interesting
get a little
stuff.
bit of the history going.
There
Absolutely.
you go.
Yeah.
Now I'm out of here. I'm
Yeah.
going back
What do
to
you mean?
I'm going back to the peanut gallery.
Oh,
Oh, you can
man.
stay and hang
You
out.
hang out here.
We're not 6 feet apart.
Oh, boy.
There's 6
Oh.
inches. Then. Here we go.
Who's this
Oh,
guy?
we
Who's
have
this guy
a
over here?
special guest joining us.
I don't know. Who is this guy?
Who is he? Who
Hey.
is he sitting out there? with
Welcome.
a nice tree background. Good evening, Mr. Luciano. How are you?
This is a real background. It's not like a
That's the real one?
Oh,
Yeah.
green screen.
Yes.
Can you touch a leaf and prove it?
Oh yeah, magician. There you go.
How can you saw the tree in half?
How are you, big man? How are you?
Good. How are you guys? Good to
Good.
see
We're
you.
doing good. We're doing good. How about you, man?
I'm doing good, man. What a crazy busy day. It was
Yeah.
awesome.
And you look pumped up. You look.
And
really-
I even decided to drink this for
Oh,
all
you,
right.
you decided to drink it, but you didn't invite us.
I was
You know,
supposed
half
to
the
go. I
bottle
was
you're
supposed to
not
meet you
betting
guys
on.
today. Just got this.
That might be one of the
Phone
last
call.
bottles of Blanton's in the world.
I think it is,
Hey,
right?
that stuff.
That's the last bottle?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I think this is 2019 number 39.
Really?
The bottle number, barrel 39, bottle 211.
What's the number on the jockey?
It's a letter, isn't it?
No, the letter, the number.
Letter L.
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 Okay.
I'll check the rest of mine and we can share. And what do I get? A free bottle when we get one? Or is there money?
I
involved?
think you just get a pat on the back.
No.
Yeah. They
You
have like a
just get
plaque
something.
that you can spell out Blanton's with, but that's about as good as
There
you're
you
getting.
go.
There you go.
I had
You
no
gotta
idea.
Get a bottle first.
Yeah.
before you-
Try to get all those bottles to get that written out.
If you can even get a B, count yourself lucky. That's how rare this stuff is. Can't
Yeah,
find it no
It's rare indeed.
Has
Well,
anyone tried the new? I know this is absurd to even ask because you can't get the old one. The new Blanton's Gold.
mm-mm.
No, not
Haven't
even.
even
No.
seen it. Haven't even seen it yet.
more. I would take Blanton's.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, they just
Yeah.
released that about I don't know 2 months ago. I think 2-3 months ago.
Did not hear it.
And
Not
will
here.
and it'll be
I
in
heard
the,
about it. That's about as far as I can get with it.
and it'll
I
be in
heard
the
it.
stores next year.
Probably a picture. That's all you're gonna get.
We'll check it out. We'll go to Benny's or one of the locals and
Yeah,
see what
yeah,
they
yeah.
have to say.
They have a picture of it.
Oh, there we go.
Right into a picture of Pappy's, the usual stuff that you can't get.
Anyway, Luciano, how things going? What another traveling man last week? How's things going with Ace Prime, buddy?
It's doing well. It's doing really well. We have some, we could maybe talk about the regional trade shows. It was a huge success for all of us. I
And where
it
was that show, Luciano? Where was the show?
that show happened for 2 weeks from July, if I'm not wrong, July 11th to July 21st.
And where was that?
10
Was that
days.
St. Louis?
This was all over the country. I happened to be at the one in Kansas City and the one in Indianapolis,
No.
and it was just amazing. It was a great trade show, very good for us and for all the participants. We had actually a pretty interesting format where people would schedule the meetings. There was a protocol of social distance, but we had a great time. We really had a wonderful time. All the venues were amazing. We had one Kansas City's at the Marriott Hotel. It was really good, and then one at my friend's Rocky Patel's cigar bar called the Burn in Indianapolis. So it was really, really, really good. I really
Were you
enjoyed.
guys allowed to smoke there?
Oh yeah,
Really? That's
Absolutely.
wonderful. Wow.
yeah.
That's terrific.
People will eventually wear masks, but once they get into the lounge or to the hotel, and we of course we respect each one's perspective on this and how they wanted to behave. But I wear a mask all the time. When we had the meetings, I would take the mask off, but all the tables, they were really far away from each other, so they're really careful. Hand sanitizers everywhere.
All you got to do is poke a hole through the mask, though, so you can smoke the cigar, right?
And it's been like 9 days already since I left, and so far so good.
Good. Good.
Wonderful.
What? I guess you're planning the next trip soon. Get out of here. What's happening with that?
Dude, I'm trying to get into Nicaragua, and it's been a nightmare.
Oh,
It's
wow.
Really?
well, the borders are closed both ways, so it's not that
Oh, boy.
I don't want to go, but they are restricting people coming from several countries. One of them is United States, the other one is this one here, Brazil.
No, yeah, there you go. The home time. Pele's my man.
So you can't leave to go there? Is that the problem? Or
First of all, there's no flights, so all the flights got canceled based on
Yeah.
the Secretary of State new implementation of Trump's policies. Also, is the same thing in Europe. Like, I happen to be able to visit my daughter because she's going to get married, and it's one of the exceptions for the French government to allow any American resident into France.
wow.
And of course, I can come back here because I reside here. But
So if you go to Nicaragua soon, will you have to go and quarantine yourself like for 10 days or 2 weeks before you can?
no. To be very honest, I think we're in a much worse situation than Nicaragua right now. The problem with Nicaragua is that we don't have much information, so we don't know what the numbers truly are. But the city of Stella is really small, so we know just by talking to the hospital owner how many people are in a hospital, how many
Okay.
people died, and so forth. So I know that we did have some deaths last week. It came to a point where they have like 1 or 2 a day, which is a lot for a small city.
Sure.
Do you have a number? Just
I think, yeah, we don't have a number. That's we don't know. But the government doesn't, publicize it. We do have the numbers of Steli, and proportionally, Steli was a little bit affected. But all the deaths, they were related to elderly people. So in most of the cases.
What's the population in Steli?
Oh man, I'll Google it and answer and look like I'm smart.
That's
It's
okay.
all good. It's all good.
That should be the question for Stump the Chooch.
There you
Yeah.
What is the population of Steli?
Then someone could Google it or Alexa, and they'll have the answer.
go.
That's
Yeah,
an
I'm
easy
sure they
one.
do.
The factories, all your workers, all your
Everything's in
employees,
full production,
families,
right?
all good down there.
Yeah, so we didn't have anyone infected so far. There was one lady in a packing area who was we suspected that because she had fever and stuff. But this is the rainy season in Nicaragua, so they do have the regular kind of flu season right now going on. So a lot of people get sick. Fortunately, it wasn't COVID because she tested positive for flu.
Okay, good.
But she was immediately taken care of, and we are following a very strict protocol at the factory as well, as all the factories are. One of the things we do spray the factory every day before opening. We do have like an area where the employees actually they walk in, and there's of course a antiviral bactericide solution. So it's one of the precautions we have. Hand sanitizers in every single table. But now there's a division between the buncher and the roller too, so they don't have
Really? Wow.
Okay. Yeah.
too much contact. Everybody's wearing masks all day long.
Another investment that you certainly didn't need, but need to do to.
It's necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a necessity.
Necessary, although, and I like to say this, that's a very good opportunity to explain to your audience, is that, well, you know how the fermentation process of a cigar is, and that basically kills almost every single bacteria, but not virus. Virus can actually survive in a surface or even inside a cigar for a long time. It's weird me saying this, but that's the reality. But here's the thing. By the time, there's two processes that are really important to control of diseases, and actually helps a lot with COVID as well. So all our cigars, they go to a 72-hour process of freezing. So we freeze all the cigars before they get shipped to the United States. And this is a requirement from the FDA and also from the local sanitary authorities in Nicaragua. So you have to freeze everything to make sure that all the little eggs, if there is a beetle egg or anything, it's actually neutralized. So that happens to be in freezers that go below, I don't know, 58, 60, below zero.
Wow.
Okay.
So the virus doesn't.
The flavor?
Yeah, the virus doesn't survive that temperature. So that's the good news. And also, by the time we ship the cigars, and these guys, of course, are boxed to get here, so you have way more than 14 days. So it's absolutely safe to consume any cigar coming from Nicaragua because of that control. I think it's just really important to clarify, because a lot of people are asking these questions and they're afraid of smoking cigars. They shouldn't be afraid at all. Besides being one of the cleanest products for you to put in your mouth because of the fermentation process, we talked about this before. It's also the procedure, the safety procedure that we have with the export of cigars. It's amazing. I mean, it's really good for the consumer. It's good for the market. So.
Now, Timmy asked the question, does that affect the taste of the cigar at all? Does it change it in any way, or the
No,
pH?
freezing? No, not at all. It's actually a very interesting way to kind of equalize humidity, because it goes through the process of condensation as well. So it's almost like if you have a cigar that's sitting for 3 or 4 months in an aging room, and then it goes to the packing, especially if it's a raining season too. Usually during the raining season, as much as you control your aging room, sometimes if the cigar is sitting in just one position, they're not being rotated. So one side gets more humid than the other. So when you freeze, when you defrost them, it's almost like naturally, well, not so natural, but it makes the cigar, makes the humidity more even.
Okay,
Uh,
makes sense.
yeah.
You get an even burn. And again, this is not a new process, not just us who do this. Is a FDA requirement. So this been done for many years. And DR is the same thing. So all factories have their own freezing process, but also even at the airport of Managua, they now have another secondary process of freezing before everything is shipped.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Very interesting.
Well, the rotation of the cigar is something that people should do in their own humidors, right?
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's a very good point. Sometimes people complain about cigars burning sideways and canoeing or sometimes it's just because that cigar is sitting in the same position for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have one side of the cigar a little closer to the humidifier, that part will, of course, be more humid than the other side. Unless if you rotate them or move the cigars around the humidor, that's extremely important.
Well, I found that happens.
Sure, go ahead.
Sometimes I forget to rotate them, and the cigar that's sitting on my humidifier, it's hard to keep lit. I mean, it's beyond what it should be as far as humidity. It's almost to the point where I don't want to say wet, but you know what I'm saying? It's too much, and it's hard to keep lit.
That's right. So rotating is the best thing. In my house, I have a walking humidor, and I do have a ventilation system just to kind of rotate the humidifiers. I mean, rotate them and keep the air flowing.
Uh-huh.
Just make sure it spreads the humidity evenly.
Nice.
Beautiful thing. Mm-hmm.
So, Luciano, you're involved. You're on the board. We were just wondering. I know things are quiet to say, but is there anything that you can tell us a little bit of what's going on? I mean, we know that we're about 6 weeks away from the filing date, what they say September 9th, that all premium cigar companies need to put in their papers about their cigars and give a little background about it all. And I think there's like 4 different cigar associations that are involved in all the steps. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Because the big day is September 12th.
It's approaching very soon. Yeah. Is there any new development?
So here's the thing, man. I hear a lot of stories. There's several things going on right now. Some conversations with different entities. All I can share as of now, it's that I'm very hopeful that something will happen this week or early next week,
Okay.
which will be some, good news for the industry as a whole before the September deadline. So yeah, I'm just positive and thinking positive.
Well, we all
Again,
are.
even with the new regulations getting in place, I think that's still a lot of things that can be done. So I'm very positive and very hopeful that that this we'll find a better place for the premium cigar family.
I don't know if you can answer this question because I know you're just strictly cigars, but in this whole development of kind of nonsense, do you think the pipe tobacco will also kind of come out victorious on this, or is this going to suffer the ill fate that we're kind of all suspecting it might? Because in pipe tobacco, there is a lot of notes, toppings that are being used, and this is supposed to be what they're going after. Not that it's a bad thing, but do you think it's going to affect that as well?
I think so. So the entire regulation actually treats all the other, we call the OTP, the other tobacco products, as in the same way, and that's where the problem resides. Because
Exactly.
uh, with vaping and with some other tobacco products, things are completely. I mean, the way you process the tobacco, the other chemicals that are added. It's there. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying it's a completely different product.
Hmm.
And the whole discussion has always been to what a premium cigar is and the definition of a premium cigar. So it is not a secret that there is two main, let's say, definitions of premium cigar. One that was put in a bill a long time ago, which is the one that I particularly like. That premium cigar. I don't know exactly the wordings of the definition, but it's a handmade product. It's tobacco wrapped in tobacco, and that's it. You know, there's nothing else. Um, some people from the big tobacco companies, they try to kind of, they actually achieve that. They kind of squeezed in or or created a new or a different interpretation of what characterizes a premium cigar, and it included the word machine in there. Not saying that the cigar can be made by machine, but it's actually part of the process. Using the machine is part of the process of manufacturing cigar, and they of course they say they refer to the Lieberman, the bunching machine, but actually, I think the way that it is written, it really gives space for some different interpretations, and that can create setbacks. I hopefully the FDA will not come back and say, well, if the machine is involved, we want to know how, what's the process, where the machine, what's the role of the machine in the manufacturing cigars and so on, because they can maybe use that as an excuse to say there's contradictory terms in that definition. So it's very technical, and I think the lawyers that are working for PCA and CRA and they are doing a great job. They're doing their best, and hopefully we'll come out successful. So, but again,
Oh,
big fight. Yeah.
now here's a question I was just thinking about as you were speaking. Not that it's a flavoring,
Mhm.
but there are cigars that are aged in like bourbon barrels and
Mhm.
or rum barrels. Would that be affected by this insanity?
So listen, hopefully not. But technically, if you're not infusing, if you're not, so there's two matters, right? Two physical matters: the tobacco and let's say the barrel, or the rum, whatever.
Yeah,
Right, right.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, if you're not infusing one into the other, if you're not, you know, creating any reactive or chemical process to infuse them, which is a completely different story when we talk about infused cigars. Infused cigars, sometimes you soak the leaf into a solution, and
Right.
that solution creates that flavor, a sweetness and so forth. Or sometimes you use gas, um, or you put the solution in the midst in the air to kind of for the leaves to suck that substance. So there is a big debate about aging tobacco in whiskey or rum barrels. And it's, I think, Dr. What's his name, Dr. Gabby brought
Dr.
that out
Gabby.
Yeah,
last,
Dr. Gabby
time,
talked about it.
because we are talking about a fermented product that should never be actually regulated by the FDA. Same as wine and some other fermented products. Uh, but unfortunately, somehow they passed this law, and uh, and it seems to be really hard to reverse that right now. And we have to work uh, with the executive power to make sure we got some relief of this regulation.
Yeah, because a tobacco leaf is first of all, it's a natural product and it's an absorbent product. The leaf will absorb. So if you stuck it in a barrel, it will take on some of those notes of the bourbon or the rum or whatever you want to put it into. Um, you're not deliberately setting it into the cigar, shall we say. It's not an infusion like you were saying. It's just a natural process. It's just an aging process
Yeah.
where
So
it's taking on those notes. it should not be affected by this stupid ruling because it's still a natural premium leaf.
Well, what's happening is in Canada, we have one of our listeners, Scott Seeley, is saying that the implication of laws without the bills after this change is a worrisome part for the smoker there. And that's exactly what is happening to Canada right now. I mean, going after the young people, 21-ish to say, they're really not smoking the premium cigars.
No.
They are doing the vapes. They're doing, let's say,
Blunts.
de-acid, the blunts,
The
and that kind
vape
of stuff.
is what started this whole problem.
Right.
So this
So
is
let me try to. I'm going to explain this, or try to explain from my perspective, my opinion, but also from a legal standpoint. Our law system is very similar to Canada. So our law system is called the common law, which is very similar to the British law system as well. So our system is based on judgments. That's why it's called jurisprudence. So you have to have a few cases, material cases of an occurrence, and that being have a let's say a few decisions about that matter in order for that to become a truly a law. So you need to have precedent, right, in order for that original bill to truly become a law, because this is what we call the interpretation of the law. Before the law, it's called they call a settled rule of law. I think that's the the proper term. You have to have different discussions about it in court, and then court decisions. And all these court decisions, when you have the support of several court decisions towards one direction, then you start almost like filtering that original intention into what will become later adopted by most of the courts in their decisions. And what I can tell you from a very interesting observation, it's that we are basically winning this battle. Most of the things that we took up to court, we've been winning.
good.
You probably saw what happened with the labeling and the packaging, and they even appealed and they lost again. So I think our cause is reasonable. It's proven that there is also no data that supports what they're claiming when it comes to premium cigars.
Well, Dr. Gabby
Well,
said that
Dr.
last
Gabby
week
pointed all
when
that
he
out.
sent that letter out. He's asking for proof, and there's no scientific proof.
They don't
that
have
they
it.
do it.
So
So-
they are not actually holding up in court, even though there is a law that was created. This law will only be consolidated when we start having litigations. And I can tell you that if for some reason they don't give this this relief that the premium cigar industry is looking for, I think there'll be a storm of litigations. And most likely, I believe that our industry will succeed.
Well, that's
We
a great
certainly hope
news.
so.
That really is great news because September 12th is coming real fast. Let me ask you though, since they did mark it down as September 12th as a date, could it be possible that with the corona, could they postpone this even more?
Well, they didn't want to, right?
So I mean, there was one legal action to postpone, and it was denied. There is an appeal going on, and it was not just based on COVID, but some other situations as well. So everything can happen. Like I said, we can have some very good news about a relief that will actually come before the decision. We can have the decision, which we don't know which is going to be, or we can have we know what's going to be, but we don't know the interpretation, the extension, how they're going to apply that decision, So let's say they can come up to us and say, well, the deeming regulations will actually be strict to fertilizers and pesticides, which is not today. So what they're saying that they want to know how the fermentation process is, where the leaves comes from, and we're just saying, hey, this is this tobacco, in its majority from the same origin of manufacturing. And if we import from a country who is also doing the same thing we are. This is the only, there's nothing, no chemicals being used in the fermentation process other than the air.
Hmm.
It's tobacco
That's natural.
and natural humidity. So we've been telling this, and there was a public hearing a couple weeks ago, and I think they asked a lot of questions. Every single one of them was really well answered, and I mean, I'm extremely confident, but we never know. You know, a lot of things are political too. I can tell you this: there's a lot of pressure going on because this government promised a lot of things when it came to this premium cigar regulation. They haven't done anything, and I think they should do something before November election. You know, if they are smart.
Well, I know Donald Jr. is working hard uh, in our case.
Well, so was the president. I mean, Trump himself said that this was a mistake. It should not have been placed under the FDA. Uh, I don't even know how that actually happened because, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't it always under tobacco and firearms jurisdiction? How did this
Oh,
transfer?
there was no regulation in terms of um, there was no regulation from the firearms and ammunition. It was licensing. There was, it's still to this day actually for OTP license in the state of Illinois, for example, you have to go through with the same license as for ammunition and arms of any kind. So
Huh.
it's the same actually. It's the same process. So they investigate you. They come to your place. They interview you. Uh, so very similar kind of background check. But again, I'm optimistic.
Well, that's a good sign.
Well, we all trying to be too.
So, Luciano, what happens though on September 9th when all these cigar manufacturers and owners and like yourself have to get your paperwork in? If
Well,
they don't, does that mean all their products have to come off the shelf? Are they done? Are they finished? What about the new guys that are going to come on board?
so here's our was so let's work to the worst scenario, okay? There are multiple versions of this as well because remember, the FDA never put out exactly how they're going to do this, so nobody knows.
Okay.
The first definitely you is okay. Now that we know what you want, we need time. Because how can we get prepared for something? They haven't established the rules yet.
Right. There's no
They,
rules.
they
but-
did they did ask for database, and then this was delayed and this suspended. So they asked for information about what is in the cigars, and everybody reported it's 100% pure tobacco, and which it's kind of ridiculous. Uh, and now if they come up with the you know the real rules and how we're going to have to adapt, then we need time. So this is not going to be implemented next day. So I doubt that people have to remove products from the shelf after the decision day. This is my personal opinion, and I don't even believe that the FDA have the sources to enforce that.
Yeah, I was going to say, in come September, if you think about all the cigar manufacturers that have product in the market, if everybody submits their paperwork at the same time, who's going to process all that stuff?
Yeah.
And in time to say your product is okay, your product is not okay, it's not realistic.
Time. You need
Yeah.
plenty of time.
But this whole law is not realistic.
No.
So another important thing to clarify is even the grandfathered products, according to the law, that is very generic right now. It says that every single premium cigar is regulated by the FDA, not just the new ones. So they don't get a pass. What happens to them is that they don't have to remove their product from the shelves, and they can actually go ahead and proceed with the chemical analysis and the reports, and they don't have to kind of remove from. That's the intention of the law, which was really kind of morphed into something different. But the original intention was to give the traditional cigars or the cigars that are grandfather because they believe that it was completely wrong. I don't know who invented this shit, but it was the idea that all the cigars prior to 2000 and what 11, 16 No, 2011
11.
were made in a way, and then from that time on, people changed the way they make the cigars, which is not a reality.
That's
It's
ridiculous.
exactly the same process.
Hmm.
Uh, so, I think there'll be a lot of discussions, even if there's something negative coming on September, which hopefully it won't. But if it does, there'll be a lot of, I can tell you, there'll be a lot of fight coming. It won't be the end of the world. That's my point.
A lot of
But,
courts will
but
be tied
people,
up.
yeah, people say that this might drive some people out of business because if you have to pull out your products from the market, if you cannot sell it for a period of time, I mean, you're going to have trouble. And I can tell you, believe it or not, that I believe that the medium, the big companies actually will suffer more than the small ones. When I
So,
say big companies, the big companies that have new products created, after the grandfathered deadline, which are many. I'll give you an example, like Placencia. Placencia's been putting products in the market for the past 3 or 4 years. That's it.
Okay.
Okay.
and that would be affected. That's a premium cigar.
But it's done after 2011.
I know, but that's a
Well, I
premium
can tell
cigar.
you, I don't know what brands. If AJ might have some predicated brands, but he was manufacturing a lot of things to other brands, but his own brands came also maybe 3 to 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
forget that. That's not many. That's not many Davidoffs and cigars that are named after Fuentes, and cigars named I don't know what else. Perdomo. Perdomo. It's been there a long time, and all their cigars is called Perdomo something. Perdomo something. Of course, Perdomo it's predicated, and he can create, which is another discussion. Maybe the FDA will say, well, no, actually, if you have anything under the label of Perdomo that's new, it's not grandfather. Who knows?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
anybody's
yeah.
guess what kind of nonsense.
So
they
that
might pull.
when you make a report to the FDA, you have to provide also the size, the vitola of the cigar. What if you just launch a new extension of vitolas of sizes in your line? Those are questions that we don't have the answer yet.
And there's so many cigars under the so-called boutique label that are fairly new. I mean, they're all premium cigars. Why would they be affected? Just because of a date? That's absurd.
And let me ask you a question. You guys walk in many different humidors in the Midwest, right? In Florida, you go to many cigars,
Sure, we've been in many.
and there's several out of these in general brands out there. Monte Cristo, Cohiba. But out of the entire humidor, how much percent do you believe they occupy in space? I'm talking about the mom and pops. I'm not talking about gas stations and I know big stores. I'm talking about the mom and pops, like the everyday cigar lounge. I myself find more of Padron, Rocky, Alec Bradley, Crown Heads. I'm gonna say Race Prime, of course. I find a huge range of brands that
Absolutely.
probably occupy 90%. That's my number. I see 90% of all this boutique cigars in most of the cigar shops, and I see a little bit of them. The Dominican Monte Cristos, the Dominican Cohibas and stuff. But again, I don't think. I think if this happens, this big tobacco will definitely benefit a lot because they're going to get a lot of market share. If that happens, you know.
Yeah,
But
but
I doubt.
it's an unfair ruling if that should happen because why should somebody whose brand has been around, let's just say for argument's sake, 100 years, be any different from a person who's only been on the market for 4 or 5 years, whose cigar is basically the same natural product? It would
Exactly.
really be ridiculous to try to argue that point.
And you know what's silly too? It's that they created an entire uh, deal around brands and not actually the cigar. I mean, do you really believe that the cohiba, the Dominican cohiba that you smoked 20 years ago is the same you smoking right now?
No,
No.
no way.
Or that Cohiba being the Cohiba from Cuba.
Then will be a different story. Yeah.
That's a whole different story.
Well, I think, the problem here is you have rational individuals trying to make sense of something a politician created. And unfortunately, none of us have our heads that far up our ass to figure out what the politicians are actually doing. Because this is a pure politic thing. Somebody wanted to look busy,
Yeah.
make it look like I did something when I was in office. So they created this fiasco. And it's going to affect mom and pops more than it's going to affect, the big superstores.
Oh, the big guy is always going to come out ahead. There's no doubt about it.
You
It's
guys,
the
you
little
guys,
guy.
I do, I would love to talk about some good news here, man. And I do have some good news. One of the things we didn't talk about was the fact that Ace Prime had basically 3 launches during this roadshow. One of them is called the Dreamer, which is a Luciano.
Oh, nice.
It's a Lancero that were just recently
Know
launched.
that again?
This is
Okay.
called Luciano the Dreamer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, all I got is the Luciano right now. So
The
I need to
Traveler.
get
You got the Traveler.
Got the Traveler. So the
Traveler was sold
Traveler
out.
is now dreaming. What's the difference?
I can tell you this. So we didn't even put a PR. We didn't announce. We just launched it as an exclusive for this specific trade show.
Wow.
We
Okay.
sold 200 boxes in only 3 days, and I think we just hit 300 by the end of the show
Wow,
Wow.
congratulations.
of this one.
Very
Then we
good.
also launched our collab with the Crown Heads, which was the Mil Diaz. So the Mil Diaz, I believe that, if I'm not wrong, I don't want to say wrong numbers here, but we almost basically sold everything from this first import.
Wow.
That's
Ooh.
amazing.
And it was a huge success. We also launched an extension of the Pichardo lines, which is a Pichardo Maduro,
Oh,
and it's a box pressed
Okay.
Pichardo Maduro, and was a big success. What else? And also we will, in September, we have the Adrian Gonzalez coming, so we delayed a couple months because of COVID, and because we really want to make a good launch of that specific blend. And we also have a size extension on the Pichardo Connecticut. We'll have a Corona Gorda size,
oh wow.
which will be an extension of the Connecticut. And I tried the cigar; it's delicious. So I have it right here.
So when are you expecting something in our area that we can, I guess, taste and push on events?
Several shops in our area have already purchased the cigars, and this is being shipped in on the second week of August. So I believe by the second week of August, end of the second week, third week, you'll be able to find this everywhere in the Chicago area. All the cigar lounges that you guys know we work with, and wherever Crown Heads is, we'll definitely have these products there. Mil Diaz is actually shipping the same date as well as the Pichardo extension line. There's a new size of the Juarez that we make for the Crown Heads too. That's called the Chihuahua, which is the
Chihuahua.
the state where it is a tiny cigar, but it's the state where Juarez, the province where Juarez is located. So those are basically our exclusive launches for the regional trade show, how they're calling it.
That's exciting.
It
That
is.
is
Awesome.
really good. Congratulations.
What size is that Pichardo?
The Pichardo Maduro, it's a 50 by 6.5 box press.
Oh, okay. Very nice.
All right.
Very good.
It's a Cuban Toro box press, or a
Beautiful.
Cabonazo if you want to be more.
So I didn't get a press release on that. Did you put a press release?
Coming,
yet?
it's coming. It was yeah, it's coming. Press release is coming.
Okay.
Now with Adrian Gonzalez, Are you going to wait for COVID to settle down to some degree, or you
No,
guys?
it's already scheduled. It's already scheduled for September.
Okay.
It's a different aging process for that cigar, so it's ready now. But we didn't want to kind of launch everything, at once.
No, no, spread it out.
So it will be very soon, just 60 days from now.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
That's exciting news, Luciano. Congratulations on
Very
that.
much.
And
Yeah.
if they're anything like the Traveler or MSX,
What's the
Dominic
difference
Wilkins,
between the Dreamer and the Traveler?
Well, first the size. This is a Lancero, but mainly the blend. It's a completely different taste profile.
Okay.
So my challenge was to produce. Sounds bragging, but my challenge was to produce the best Lancero, and I think we achieved that.
Well,
Yeah.
knowing you, I'm sure
Nice.
you did.
So the way the construction is, we use very small ligeros. It is a boat smoke. The tobacco is extremely aged. Every single Lancero, and that's one of the differences at our factory, they go to the draw master. Usually the draw master doesn't have actually the proper gauge to draw test the Lanceros. So Pichardo created this adapter, which he calls the needle. It's an adapter to the draw machine, and every single cigar that comes from our factory, every single Lancero specifically that comes from our factory, you can be sure that won't have any draw issues, which is the main complaint when it comes to Lanceros.
Sure. Now, what kind of wrapper is on that?
It's an Havana wrapper from the Pichardo Farms.
Okay.
It is an Ecuadorian Roseado Habano Corojo. And I think it's Corojo 98. It's still 98, which is delicious. And the fillers are all Nicaragua.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh, that's nice. Very nice.
Very
But I'm
nice.
coming up with an
100%
idea
correct.
here. You tell me if I'm wrong, but I think we might have to do some ratings on these cigars soon. Just thinking. What do you think? You think we might get into some ratings?
Well,
Wait a minute.
you tell me. I mean, you guys are the experts too. So I'm waiting, man. That would be great if you guys do that.
Well, we're going to get our hands on it somehow, and we're going to check that out. It looks like a beautiful cigar. I mean, just
It
look
is.
at the
Oh, I
picture.
just got this. I mean, I got I had some samples here, and I was going to surprise you guys tonight with the samples. We'll have the opportunity to do that soon.
Are you on the road next week, or are you around? What's happening with you? What you got planned hitting the road there as the Traveler?
If I get my permit and I can find a flight to go to France to my daughter's civil wedding ceremony,
Okay.
And when is that, by the way? What's the date?
so they are figuring out. So everything is kind of really liquid right now,
Okay.
waiting for, I just asked them to wait before they set the date. Well, they'll do it anyways, and then we'll probably have the party next year when this thing is under control.
Yeah.
But for
Right.
now, they're just gonna do the civil ceremony.
Gotcha.
Well, I hope everything works out that you can get a flight.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's an
So,
important
and also
thing.
I need to go to Nicaragua too. So I'm kind of every day, making phone calls, calling embassies, calling consulates and airline company, and trying to kind of be on top of everything.
So what if you went to another country coming through the back door instead of direct flights?
France to
France and
Nicaragua.
then yeah, exactly. Can you do
So like
something like that?
yeah, I mean, the entire European Union, they're really kind of tight, right? So they are following the same procedures every single country when it comes to immigration. You mean like going from Europe to Nicaragua? I think Nicaragua is close to everybody. I mean, that's kind of what I hear. Because remember, that Nicaragua is a small country, so there's not many flights coming from Europe to Managua. I know that from the Midwest here, that's only basically one flight going out of Houston. So you have to fly to Houston to get a connection in Houston, and then go to Nicaragua to United, or you can fly maybe a Copper Lines and go to Panama, and from Panama to Nicaragua, or from Fort Lauderdale with Spirit or American Airlines. That's basically it.
Wow. That's it, huh?
And one flight a day. Sometimes, and United was doing this every other day. Some airline companies will do just once a week.
Cool.
So if they don't have too much traffic, I mean, they just cancel flights. So the problem is to find flights right now to Nicaragua. And Nicaragua have like now I believe that they just put in force something about Americans too, because we are unfortunately leading
Yeah.
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
the world when it comes to almost everything, including COVID.
Yeah.
Mm.
Amazing, amazing.
Well, I hope something works out for you.
Yeah, well, I'm like I said, my schedule is really open right now, but we never know.
Well, let
And
us
yeah,
know.
I am traveling. That there are some events scheduled, being scheduled right now after the trade show. So hopefully I'll be able to hit the world too.
What's your next event?
I think it's actually August 20 something, 21, 22.
Where would that be?
And I think it's in Indianapolis.
Indianapolis?
Okay, all
Yeah.
right.
So far, I do have a lot of events scheduled for December. But everything is, under.
Oh yeah, everything's up in the air.
Well, let us know if you ever want the Great Lakes Smoke Show do a nice podcast live from your events. We'll always try to be there for you.
Sure.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you
How-
very much, man.
How is your partners Tiago doing down in Orlando with the New York Nets with the basketball deal, and Pichardo in Nicaragua? How your partners doing?
They're fine. Pichard is working his ass off. I don't know if you know this, but that some factories in Honduras have been shut down. Not all of them, but some of them. And I know box manufacturing has been closed in Nicaragua. So there's a lot of demand now in Esteli. And we are trying to help some friends as well. And we are manufacturing for some of our, I like to call allies. So we are, making some cigars for other brands right now because they're going through this situation. And he's extremely busy. And fortunate we have all these new products coming out. So factory is 100%.
Are you having any trouble
Worked really hard.
bringing product into the country though?
No, I mean the commerce side of it's probably the only airplanes that are landing now in Managua are the cargo planes. So American Airlines still doing the flights just for cargo, and I know that Amerijet as well. I think everything is still on schedule. What is happening? We heard last week that they decided to quarantine for 7 days products coming from everywhere, including Nicaragua. But I don't think that applies for cigars because of the process I explained to you guys.
Right.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Well,
So
Luciano,
Tiago's fine. Tiago's there, man. Tiago's at the bubble. And we just actually spoke a few minutes ago before I got to the show. That's the phone call I was in. And he is going to participate on our show Thursday with Bulb.
Oh, nice.
you want to talk about your show on Thursday for the folks?
And he's going to speak from inside the bubble, which will be cool. So he has like a smoking. He created kind of sort of a smoking club there, and a lot of players coming to smoke at night and gathering around the pool. And so I think he has some cool stories to tell. And Friday will be the last day that he can be actually available because Friday he has his first game.
Okay. Thursday is your show though, right? The Bulb?
Thursday is the lights on show.
And
Miguel
that's at
Miguel is
10
the
p.m.?
host. I'm just his shadow.
That's at 7 p.m. though, right?
At 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Terrific.
And how is the bulb? I know we haven't talked about that in about a month or so. How is that program going?
A lot of people signing on.
Yeah, I mean, from the retailer side, we're really surprised. We had hundreds and hundreds of retailers that are there to the program, so we are excited about that. I think now comes the second phase where we're gonna start advertising to the public, and make sure that they come and use the program, because it's very convenient. They're gonna pay exactly the same price. They have the convenience of having the cigars delivered, and they're supporting the brick and mortar, supporting their stores that they like. If they don't have a store, we assign one that's nearby his address.
It's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful program.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, Luciano, thank you very much for your time and your knowledge. You know, a lot of people are looking for any kind of information because there really is just so much out there,
There is.
but we don't know what's real, what's not, and you know what's going on.
But coming from you, we know it's real.
Since you're part of the board itself with Rocky, and who else is part of the board?
So we have what we call, it's called the AMMB, which is the advisory board to the PCA, which is Retailers Association. So at that board we have Rocky, Jorge Padron, we have Mike Condor from Crown Heads, we have Christian Aroa from CLE, we have Alan Rubin from Alec Bradley, and myself.
Wow. Okay.
Nice bunch of people you have
Nice.
surrounded yourself with, for sure.
Padron. Yeah, that's up there. Very nice.
Very good. Well, continue the fight, Luciano. Continue to fight for all of us. And I know, Kyle, do you remember that whole list that people could go to for us, the average Joe, to go on and follow up? Do you have that information still, Kyle?
I do not have it with me. But if you go to the bulb, is it thebulb.org or
Oh, you're talking about the information for
Yeah.
for the bulb program? Just go to just go to I think it's bulb, keep your lights on. Oh man. Or bulb.org.
Well, we were
Yeah.
talking about what the people, we can do to put word in or petition and or you know get to our politicians.
Right to your senators, right?
Oh,
to your
yeah,
Congress
right.
people,
No,
right to everybody.
you talk about PCA. So you
Yeah.
go to pca.org.
Yeah.
And there's another actually website, but just go to pca.org. You can browse the website. You find advocacy there,
Mm-hmm.
and just click on it. It will take you to the right place.
Okay.
Yeah,
Awesome.
definitely.
You heard that,
Definitely.
folks. Coming from the man himself. Get on that site. Do what you got to do. This is a big fight. Again, there's a lot of stories out there, but if we enjoy our tobacco, our passion, we have to stand up. We have to do it in numbers.
It's a fight. It's a fight. It's all out fight, man.
That's it. The government need to hear our voices too, not just the small crowd of Luciano and his crew and Dr. Gabby Caffey and his crew. Everybody has got to be part of this to help. So we'll do what we can there, Luciano. We thank you and the rest of the men that are fighting for us. Congratulations on the releases.
Yeah,
look forward
congratulations
to,
on your new babies
all
out there. Can't wait to get the samples.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to trying them.
Yep. And maybe we'll start rating some cigars on this show or something we'll come up with, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
It's an interesting,
Alrighty.
interesting
Looking
concept.
forward, man. That would be a big thing for you guys. That's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Luciano.
You have a good one, buddy. And
Stay well, stay healthy, and we'll talk to you real soon.
Thank you, my friends. Be well.
All
Thank you.
righty.
Good
Folks,
night now.
you heard from Luciano, the co-owner of Ace Prime. A lot going on there with Ace. 3 releases alone, and in a couple of months, another new release is going to happen.
It's amazing.
So a lot's going on. September's around the corner, and hopefully we're hearing some good stuff. Wasn't negative.
No.
It could be
It looks like things are moving in a positive direction.
We got to hope. But for the
Hopefully.
rest of you, to change the story a little bit, Tim sitting here next to me is really came up a great idea for our military personnel. Okay, we really need to do something for them. And we have a good friend, Jerry Feliciano, who is right now in the Middle East, doing what he can do with him and his brothers and sisters out there, protecting America and its interests. But here at the Great Lakes Smoke Show, we are taking collections. Tim has been fabulous in putting together, we got about 5 or 6 packets of a brand new cigar, a pipe, I'm sorry, pipe.
A pipe and pipe cleaners and matches. and this is going out to our troops. Um, I mean, this is a wonderful little gift. We're trying to get everybody to donate. I mean, I have to tell you how great this cause is. I mean, these people are putting their lives on the line for us. They're protecting us, and this is a small little token of our appreciation. And we're hoping that everybody who's listening to our show can can donate to this.
So
Yeah,
these are the ones
So
that
what do
I'm
we
going to
got
be.
there, Kyle?
some tobacco, of course, goes with
Yep.
a pipe. Whatever people can send to us, we are going to forward to our military people. And I can't even say enough about it. I mean, this is the best thing you could possibly do.
Yeah, so
Now,
these
our
are
next shipment will be in October, right, Kyle? We'll talk to Jeremy Feliciano about it.
yeah, we
He's
gotta
moving
we gotta make
areas.
sure we get his right address because I think he was in the process of maybe
Yeah, he's
moving
Well,
around there, but
We'll get it to them. We'll get the address. But
yeah, these are going to be the two that I'm donating myself. These are 2 pouches of tobacco. One is Missouri Meerschaum's Country Gentleman, and the other one is Missouri Meerschaum's Missouri Pride. So I'm sending these over for the boys.
anything anybody
and girls
can donate,
And
and
girls.
girls. But
whether it's cigars, whether it's a pipe, or anything you can donate for our people abroad. I mean, let's face it, this is a wonderful thing, and I'm sure they will appreciate this
and it's
because
not
they can't get anything over there. Let's face it,
Yep.
there's nothing there,
and
nothing but misery.
And if you want to, you can PM us on the Facebook or send us an email. We'll give you the my address here. We'll put a nice box together, and we will get it off to the boys and gals that are fighting for the red, white, and blue. We know several of them, and they said Tim here, and along with the Chicago Pipe Club and the Great Lakes Smoke Club.
And I know we have a big following, under Briar Nation. There's a lot of us who belong to that, and this is all for the cause, folks. So,
Yep.
Anything, like I said, anything you can donate, it's a big thing, man. It's a good thing.
Yeah, let's
Tim?
get some. Our goal. These individuals have set years of their lives aside to serve our nation, to serve us. You know, this is just a tiny token of our gratitude for those who have, gone out of their way to serve our country. So, we're going to send a little bit of our country to them.
Hmm.
Okay.
Nice way.
Let's get something in their hands. If you got that pipe, it's a nice pipe, but it's not making it in the rotation. And you want to give it away, ask, just send it to us, drop it off. We'll clean it up. We'll get it together in a care package so that, let's face it, these are not consumable products. They're meant to give these individuals a moment of pause in a very stressful, demanding situation.
If you like,
Tobacco, especially tobacco, you got a tobacco, maybe it's not your favorite, maybe you didn't even like it. Send it. We're just going to send everything out to these guys and men and women, and it's just something, a little comfort. That's all. A little something from home.
Yeah.
and if you want to put a little note to them, whatever you want to write, send it along with your package. We'll keep it with your package. And believe me, they will love to read anything over there.
Absolutely.
Red, white, and blue, folks. Red, white, and blue.
A little twist on the old send a salami to your boys in the army. We're going to send tobacco now. Pipes, tobacco,
Send a
cigars.
pipe for those who are fighting for our lives.
That's it.
There you go.
And just coincidentally, if you've got a family member who is an enthusiast, let us know. We have no problem if you're already in contact with somebody in the military at home or abroad, and they're an enthusiast. Let us know. We'll send a pipe to you to send to them.
Sure.
All right, whatever's. Again, this is a small token of our gratitude for those who have put years of their lives aside to serve.
Well, and don't just limit it to pipes and pipe tobacco too. If you got sticks that you have too many of that you're willing to donate, get those to us too. We'll take the sticks and we'll get them over to the boys and girls.
Absolutely. Everything and anything. No matter. You got $100 that weren't using today? Put it in the envelope. We'll send it to them.
And we have one of our listeners, Ian Simpson, said that's how one of his buddies got into pipes. He loved getting those packages while he was serving. So
There you go.
that means a lot. And we got one of our Mason brothers, Mark Thompson. Hello, Mark, joining on
Hey,
board.
Mark.
Hey, Mark.
And as Masons, we would love to even take care of the Masons also that are out there fighting for our country. So anyway, folks, Kyle, you got anything else you want to run by?
Nope, we're done.
We're done. All
Okay.
right.
So see ya.
So
Goodbye.
from all of us, to all of you, have a great smoking week. Thank you for supporting us, listening to us. We hope you got some really good information. We didn't have too many laughs this one because it was more of a serious note, but we'll bring you more laughs next week. And next week, Stump the Chooch with Cousin
We're back
Frank.
with that.
We'll be back.
And by the way, any new members for our club, Chicago Pipe Club, we're always looking for new members.
And if you're local, August 15th,
August 15th,
We're having a
Arlington
meeting.
Pipe and Cigar. Hey, club members, remember, if you stop into Arlington Pipe and Cigar and you are a club member, you
Ah.
have a free bowl of tobacco, a nice navy flake.
Nice, very good. I tried it, by the way. It was delicious.
excellent.
If you all you have to do is just tell them you're a member and you pack yourself a bowl and enjoy compliments of your president. And
Tim Garrity bought.
He bought it, folks. He put the money
Oh,
out.
yeah.
He bought it.
So stop by, enjoy, tell me with the Chicago Pipe Club, and take a bowl. All righty?
Awesome.
Anyway, till
Thank
next
you.
week, have a great one,
Stay
everybody.
bold.
You got it. Have a good night.
Good night, folks.
Good night, everybody.